Crypto is famous for its potential to provide life-changing gains. Now, one of the best ways to find these gains is to look at what other successful crypto investors have done. That's why today we're going to look at the top 5 richest crypto holders out there, tell you how they built their insane fortunes, and look at how you can maybe do the same. Stay tuned. Now, putting this list together wasn't as simple as you might think. That's simply because it's intended to only include those who have specifically made their billions in cryptocurrencies. So, in order to do that, we have to stick to a couple of key criteria. For instance, we can't tell you much about a billionaire if we don't actually know who they are. So, this rules out multiple unknown crypto whales, several hackers who have stolen hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto, or anonymous crypto entities. And yes, that does include Satoshi, who otherwise would have been at the very top of this list. Heck, Satoshi would be one of the richest people in the entire world, assuming, of course, Satoshi is just one person, that is. He, she, or they have 1 million BTC. We also can't include those who are key players in crypto but have the majority of their wealth in other assets, such as stocks. So, naturally, this rules out the likes of Brian Armstrong, who would otherwise have made it onto this list had it not been for the majority of his wealth coming from his stake in Coinbase. It also rules out St. Michael Saylor. Yes, he's built up his own impressive stack of BTC, but most of his wealth still comes from his stake in MicroStrategy. It's also worth noting that this list is likely to change, and that's simply because the various cryptos being held by each billionaire will fluctuate over time. Put it this way, if your portfolio moves up or down by, say, 5%, it's probably not going to bother you all that much, if you're an experienced crypto bro anyhow. For these crypto whales, though, even small market movements can mean millions of dollars. So then, now that we understand how this list is structured, it's time to see the top 5 who made the cut. But before we dive in, if you're enjoying the video, you know what to do. Smash those like and subscribe buttons to give it a boost and ping the notification bell to catch our next one before anyone else.
Hello, it's me, guys, Cousin Barry. I'm very sorry to be interrupting this no doubt fascinating video, but I want to tell you about the Coin Bureau deals page, so listen up and listen well. Alright, this is the place where you will find all the amazing promos and discounts what you, as Coin Bureau viewers, are entitled to. So don't be a mug, go and check it out using the link below. You'll find discounts on hardware wallets, you'll find exchange sign-up bonuses, some of which are absolutely bleeding mental, and you will find trading fee discounts there as well as a whole load of other goodies too. And let me tell you, old Barrington here, he's had to hammer the dog and bone all bleeding day and night to get you these promos and discounts. So you're welcome, thank you very much, go and have a look pronto, or I'll have to come and have a word. Alright.
Okay then, the 5th richest person in crypto is American venture capital investor Tim Draper, with a net worth of around $2 billion. Tim actually comes from an extremely wealthy background, with a family made up of venture capitalists, Hollywood actors and actresses, and government officials. All right for some. Tim left Stanford University with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering in the 1980s, before earning a master's degree in business from Harvard a few years later. He then started his own venture capital firm and over time would become an early investor in many famous startups, because he believes they have the most disruptive potential. Some of these early investments include Tesla, Skype, Baidu, and of course, Bitcoin. But how exactly did Tim come across Bitcoin? Well, his interest in digital currencies actually started long before Satoshi ever published Bitcoin's white paper. Remember when Farmville was a super popular game on Facebook? Some of you might be too young to remember, and for everyone else out there who just felt a whole lot older, sorry for the existential crisis. Anywho, Tim noticed that games like this had their own digital currency systems, and this fascinated him. Around the same time, Tim also bumped into a father from South Korea who wanted to treat his son to a $40 digital sword in a video game for his birthday. And then, soon afterwards, Tim discovered Bitcoin, which he realized was going to be the universal digital currency of Earth. He subsequently started buying BTC when it was just $6, and incidentally lost a whole heap of it in the Mt. Gox collapse. No matter though, because his real claim to crypto fame comes from his purchase of BTC that was confiscated from the Silk Road darknet marketplace and then auctioned off by the US Marshals Service in 2014. In that auction, Tim bought almost 30,000 BTC for around $19 million at just $632 per coin. That, my friends, is what you call conviction. Now, Tim continues to hodl his BTC, as well as numerous altcoins he's picked up along the way. He explained that, quote,
"My goal is never to sell my Bitcoin, but to eventually spend or invest."
While Tim's holdings aren't specified, his bullish stance on Bitcoin tells us that he's likely still hodling most of his BTC stack, if not acquiring more over the years. Assuming he still has the exact same amount that he bought in that auction, its value today would be around $1.7 billion. Also in 2014, Tim famously predicted that BTC would hit $10,000 in 3 years, and almost 3 years to the day later, he turned out to be right. That said though, in December 2019, he also predicted that BTC would hit $250,000 by the end of 2022. Well, can't be right every time. Although, as recently as this April, Tim said that BTC could now hit 250k by the end of this year, thanks to the halving's impact on supply, as well as the inflows coming from the ETFs. Only time will tell just how accurate this prediction is, but Tim seems to think it's looking pretty good. Well, let's all hope he's right again, eh? Okay, full disclosure, we've cheated a little bit for 4th place because this spot is shared between 2 people, specifically 2 identical twins. I am, of course, talking about the Winklevoss twins, who have a net worth of around $2.7 billion. Now, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss share an entrepreneurial mindset and have done everything together from a very young age. When they were just 13, they taught themselves how to code and started their own web development company. Then, as young adults, they studied at both Harvard and Oxford, majoring in economics. And as a fun fact, they even competed in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, finishing 6th in coxless rowing. But if you've watched the movie The Social Network, you'll know they're most famous for suing Mark Zuckerberg in 2004, saying that Zuck stole their idea. This comes after the trio worked together on another social media platform, and Zuck was accused of copying some of the code to create Facebook. The lawsuit was settled in 2008, with the twins getting $20 million in cash and $45 million worth of Facebook stock. Now, this wasn't a bad payout, but it came with an additional expense. You see, this lawsuit had tarnished the twins' reputation, and Zuck refused to do business with any company associated with them. As a result, many businesses were refusing to get involved with them, leaving the Winklevoss brothers unsure of what to do next. To unwind, they decided to go on holiday to Ibiza in 2012, where everything changed. While they were there partying, somebody recognized them from the movie and used the opportunity to tell them all about Bitcoin. Thanks to their knowledge of economics, they quickly clicked onto Bitcoin's potential and decided to buy up 1% of the BTC in circulation. They then went on a mission to spread the word of Bitcoin around the world, and even filed the very first application for a spot Bitcoin ETF in 2013. In 2014, they founded the Gemini crypto exchange. Gemini twins, right? And according to estimates by Forbes, the twins hold at least 70,000 BTC, which at today's prices is worth around $4 billion. Cameron and Tyler plan to keep holding onto their BTC until the price hits $500,000, and even then they would likely use this BTC as collateral to take out loans for anything else they might need. In case you didn't know, this is a sneaky way for the rich to avoid paying any capital gains taxes, as the BTC isn't sold and therefore no profits are actually realized. The more you know. Now, the third richest person in crypto is Jed McCaleb, with a net worth of $2.9 billion. If that name sounds familiar, it's probably because in 2000 he co-founded the peer-to-peer file sharing service eDonkey. Okay, just kidding, this wasn't his claim to fame, although it did happen. No, Jed is perhaps best known for creating the now defunct Mt. Gox exchange in 2010, although he originally created Mt. Gox in 2007 as a trading site for Magic the Gathering cards, hence the name, Magic the Gathering Online Exchange. Jed later sold the company in 2011 to Mark Karpelès, but was a minority owner in Mt. Gox when it collapsed in 2014. After selling Mt. Gox, Jed co-founded Ripple Labs, but it wasn't long before personal and professional relationships began to get tense, and there were disagreements as to the direction Ripple should go. As such, Jed left Ripple in 2013. After a short break, he then co-founded Stellar, a direct competitor to Ripple, where he now serves as CTO. Now, most of Jed's wealth comes from his selling of the 9.5 billion XRP he was allocated as a Ripple co-founder. Initially wanting to sell all this allocation immediately, his separation agreement from Ripple Labs prevented him from doing this and thereby crashing XRP's price. He instead sold his allocation gradually and finished emptying his XRP wallet in July 2022. While it isn't known how much of Stellar's XLM coin Jed holds, it's worth noting that 44% of XLM's initial allocation went to the XLM Foundation and the founders, although it isn't clear exactly how this was split. Either way, assuming Jed hasn't sold in the same way he wanted to sell his XRP, he's likely sitting on a very healthy stack of XLM, presumably worth millions of dollars. And as a fun fact, the separation agreement from Ripple also stated that Jed had to donate 2 million of his XRP to charities of his choice. The rest of the money raised likely fueled his next ambition, because in 2021, Jed joined the growing list of billionaires obsessed with space exploration, as he became the founder and CEO of aerospace startup company Vast. Well, that's one way for crypto to take you to the moon, I suppose. Now this neatly brings us to the second richest crypto billionaire on our list, Chris Larsen, who has a net worth of $3.2 billion. Chris is the other co-founder of Ripple Labs and remains with the company to this day, serving as its executive chairman. Now, Chris holds a Bachelor of Science and a master's degree in business and has founded and sold many successful companies over the years. In the 1990s, he developed an online mortgage lender called eLoan. In 2005, he co-founded Prosper Marketplace, America's first peer-to-peer lending marketplace. In 2012, he co-founded OpenCoin with Jed McCaleb, which later became Ripple Labs in 2013 after Jed left. Much like Jed McCaleb, Chris was also allocated 9.5 billion of XRP's initial allocation. Now, as you'll know, Ripple partially won a lawsuit last year against the SEC after the regulator alleged that Ripple's sales of XRP in the US constituted an offering of unregistered securities. Handing the SEC a massive L must have felt great for the company, but must have also been a huge relief for Chris. If they'd lost the case, who knows how much his XRP allocation would be worth now. And more recently, the judge in the case ordered Ripple to pay a $125 million penalty, which was paradoxically bullish news for the company. That's because not only was the SEC seeking a $2 billion fine, but it could also mean there's some light at the end of the tunnel following a 4-year struggle. And you can learn more about the Ripple case by checking out our recent update. The link to that is in the description. Anyway, reports from December last year suggest that Chris still holds around 2.8 billion XRP stored across multiple wallets. However, it's also worth pointing out that one of Chris's personal XRP wallets was recently hacked for 213 million XRP, worth approximately $112 million at the time. This would leave Chris with around 2 billion XRP, worth around $1.1 billion. And the fact that one of the richest people in crypto can get their wallet drained should serve as a timely reminder to always keep safety at the forefront of your mind. We always advocate for keeping your crypto in cold storage using a hardware wallet. And if you're looking for the best ones around, well, you're in luck. The Coin Bureau deals page has official links to some of the best out there, and you can even get yourselves a cheeky little discount along the way. The link is in the description below. So then, folks, it's time for the big reveal. Who is the biggest crypto bro of them all? Well, I can announce that the richest person in crypto by a country mile is former Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, with a mind-melting net worth of $57 billion. Not only does this make him the richest person in crypto, but it also puts him in the top 30 richest people on the planet. Currently, he's the 26th. So, born in China, Changpeng Zhao, more commonly known as CZ, moved to Canada when he was 12 to join his father, who'd been exiled for being on the wrong side of the Chinese Cultural Revolution. CZ learned to code as a teenager, earned a computer science degree from a university in Montreal, all while holding down several jobs at gas stations and a McDonald's. After graduating, CZ moved to Japan, where he worked as an intern building and maintaining trading software for the Tokyo Stock Exchange. A few years later, he moved back to China and continued to work on more advanced trading software. Then, in 2013, a friend said to him during a poker game, quote, "You should convert 10% of your net worth into Bitcoin because there's a very small chance it will go to zero and you lose that 10%. There's a high chance it will go 10x and then you would double your net worth." CZ took most of this on board except for the 10% bit. Instead, he sold his apartment in Shanghai and went all in. CZ then worked as the CTO for the OKCoin exchange, which later rebranded to OKX, where he stayed until 2015. In 2017, he co-founded Binance, which became the largest crypto exchange in the world less than a year after its launch. Now, Binance's almost overnight success was largely because many other exchanges were clunky and difficult to use, and CZ's experience building trading systems allowed him to create a much better user experience. Soon after Binance launched, the company held an ICO for its BNB token, with 40% of the initial supply being allocated to the founding team. In a 2021 interview, CZ said that he keeps the vast majority of his wealth in BNB, and although he hasn't commented on his holdings more recently, it's safe to assume that he's still holding on to the majority of this stack. In fact, he's even said in the past that he doesn't like to trade because he usually ends up losing money, which suggests he's hodling for the long run. And according to a recent Forbes report, forensic analysis from Grey Wolf Analytics has revealed that CZ still owns an estimated 64% of BNB's circulating supply. That equates to around 93 million BNB coins, worth over $50 billion at today's value. Now, as you'll already know, back in April, CZ was sentenced to 4 months in a US prison after pleading guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act. To be fair, this could have been a lot worse. What's crazy, though, is that some reports suggest that CZ's net worth has actually doubled in the short time he's been behind bars. As you'll also know, CZ stepped down as Binance's CEO to be replaced by Richard Teng, who we actually interviewed on this channel shortly after he stepped into the role. We'll leave a link to that interview in the description for you to check out. So, there you have it, folks, the top 5 cryptocurrency billionaires. Now, I know that hearing about the crazy amounts of money these guys have can leave you perhaps feeling a little unfulfilled. So, you may be wondering how you too can build up such an incredible crypto fortune. Well, we can start by taking a look at what all these people have in common. What's clear is that the first thing each of them did was get an education. While most of these guys went to prestigious universities such as Stanford or Harvard, this isn't a necessity though. All you need to do is find the crypto topic you're interested in and absorb as much information as you can about it until you have it mastered. And hint, hint, a great educational resource for you to start with is right here on this channel. But that's not all they did. They also took risks in the belief that crypto would be transformative for so many people. Think Tim Draper spending all those millions on BTC in one go, or CZ selling his home after getting orange-pilled. I think it's clear to see that they were spot on, and as early adopters, they reaped the biggest rewards. So, if you have the same conviction as they did, then you could consider what risk you're also willing to take on to turn your dreams into reality. Not financial advice, of course. But investing isn't enough. You'll have also noticed that these billionaires accumulated their insane wealth because most also built something to support crypto's adoption on a wider scale. If you want to really start raking in the cash, then this is something you should consider doing yourself too. Maybe you could code the next killer dApp. Maybe you could work for a crypto platform, or you could even help educate others. The possibilities are endless, and if you're thinking of a career change, this is something you maybe should consider. But if you're happy sticking to investing, that's completely fine too. It's no secret that crypto can give you ungodly gains, and the trick is finding the right gem before it pumps. And this is exactly why we created the Coin Bureau Club. There we do deep dive reviews on some of the most promising small cap cryptos as voted on by our members. You'll also find great alpha in our Discord, where you can chat to members of the team as well as other like-minded individuals. You'll even get regular insights from members of the Coin Bureau team. So, if this sounds good to you, then why not become a member of the CBC Elite? The link is in the description. And that is all for today, folks. So, if you enjoyed it, help us out by hitting those like, subscribe, and notification buttons. If you know someone who'd love this sort of content, help them find it by sharing it with them. If you're looking for some of the coolest clothes in crypto, then the Coin Bureau merch store has it all. And if you want to stay up to date with what's going on, consider joining our Coin Bureau Insider channel on Telegram. You can find the links for those and all our other resources in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. This is Guy, over and out.